another video. I can't believe I just said that. Hey y'all, oh my god. Hello everyone. Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to jump into the narcissist and karma, right? Is there such a thing as karma for a narcissist? Is there? Let's find out. So the narcissist and karma, right? Well, I'm here to tell you that yes, there is such a thing as karma for the narcissist, but the narcissist may not recognize it necessarily as karma. But when you split up with one, right? I have been there. They've destroyed your life. They've probably affected your income, your job, your neighbors, the people that you were once friends with. They've affected your children, your family, relationships between siblings, other family members, possibly aunties, uncles, you know, because there's no lengths that they will not go to, right? They affect everything. They'll try and affect where you're living, contacting landlords, contacting any kind of agencies. They're well known, you see, for using government agencies to harass or abuse the victim or the target in their eye, okay? They will think nothing of making CPS calls, calling the police for fake wellness checks, claims that you're going to hurt yourself, things like that, and they're just worried and they're just like anything to interrupt and abuse you in some way, directly or indirectly. So when you finally leave one, right, and you're left with all the damage, the carnage, the collateral damage that the narcissist has caused, you often start daydreaming about revenge and vengeance somehow, right? In fact, it probably gets you through a few nights, right? Just dreaming or thinking about all the things you'd like to do or all the things you'd like to say to get back at them, right? But you can't because you're no contact. So how is this fair, right? They abuse you, destroy your life. They walk away and leave you in an absolute state, the complete opposite state of in which they found you, right? So how is it fair? How does this all line up? Do they ever get karma, right? Do they even care about karma, right? Well, a narcissist is actually living their karma every waking moment they're alive, all right? And that happens because of how the disorder is, how they have to behave to this disorder, because a narcissist is a slave to this disorder, all right? So when you're still in like the early stages of realizing what they are and you're wanting them to change and they show you good behavior for a short period of time, they haven't even got that ability to change, you see, right? So whereas we have within us, if we decide we want to be into something or we start liking something, or we want to evolve as humans, right? Go on to being, you know, more awakened and enlightened about things, okay? A narcissist is ever unable to do those types of things, right? When you go and just take a walk and you experience the sun or the wind or the autumn leaves, right? Whatever it is that you're experiencing that moves you somewhere inside or comforts you somewhere inside, the narcissist never, ever, ever gets to experience that. They never get to experience love. They never get to experience what affection feels like between a healthy couple. They never get to experience love. They never get to feel it as love because they're always, so twisted up about using love against the person that loves them, right? They never get to experience what it is to be human, right? Nothing. They never get nothing. When they wake up in the morning, right, their first thought is supply, attention. Who can I text? Who can I ring? Where can I go? Social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, filling up of human interaction and reactions constantly. Whether they have numerous accounts and they're trolling, they're a slave to these things, right? So whereas we can grow, adapt, change, drop bad habits, change poor behaviors, they haven't even got the basic allowance to do even those things. They can't do nothing. They wake up and before they reach for a coffee or a cigarette, right, or their cereal, they reach for something to give them some outside validation of some kind, right? And fortunately for the era that we're in with social media and you being able to find another human anywhere in the world and talk to them right now, right this second, doesn't matter whether it's day or night across the world, you can find someone. You can always find someone to harass, to mock in the comments, to leave a nasty comment, to go and troll somebody, to be chatting someone up, love bombing somebody. They're a slave to doing this from morning until night, until they fall asleep. They may have brief interludes, right? If they work, they probably have to work, right? Go to work, and they'll have a way of that they get fuel or supply from other people at work, right? If they're, what was I going to say then about them filling up with fuel? Right, so throughout the day, they're constantly looking for outside resources to be able to fill up on fuel. It might be the person in the shop, right, that's serving them. They will have something that they do that will give them a quick burst of fuel, right? It may be helping an old lady across the road, right? Because there's two people stood over there in the bus stop, and they see them walking this old lady across the road, and they get the fuel because they're knowing that those people saw him and probably thought, oh, what a nice guy, just helped that little old lady across the street, right? They're constantly filling up on fuel. The praise that the old lady would have given them for helping them across the road. They are a total slave to this. So again, with the brief interludes, they may take drugs, they may smoke marijuana, and all of that is done to subdue this inner emptiness and darkness, right? They may go online shopping, they need to make a purchase, they're buying something, or they have a habit of gambling, they need to get the fix that way. Or they're sex addicts, they're constantly thinking about a new supply, a new person that they can contact, right? They are constantly consumed with abiding by this disorder, right? They are total slaves to it. And you know what? Because they lack the insight and they have no introspection, they never get to see that that's what's going on. So from their whole life, right, until their dying day, they are a slave to this disorder, to this systematic system that they must run every single day. It's their programming that even if they had the self-awareness to be able to see what's wrong with them, which HG and Sam Vaknin are the only two that I know that can do it. Sam is trying with his cold therapy things, but HG, as far as I know, knows he can't be any different. Even though they're now aware of their disorder and what their problem is, they can't stop them having to do the same things. They're trying to. Well, Sam is, Dr. Sam, he is doing amazing with his cold therapy things over there. But again, this is rare. This is a one-off. This is not a cure for narcissism. You cannot grow empathy. This is just a way to minimize the behavior, so they're less abusive and problematic for the rest of society. Because from waking up, so they've gone on social media, they've got a fix from there, right? They've got their breakfast. Now they're back on the phone gambling, or they're lighting up a spliff to subdue the feelings, or they're working out what they're going to do tonight and where can they go tonight and who can they see, who can they text, who can be available for online and an online moment of intimacy. They're constantly consumed with it, filling up with different ways to subdue that darkness inside. So again, right, from morning till night, until they become one, from them becoming a narcissist or a cluster B type personality, they are a slave from then until their death, every single day, right? If a partner says to them, oh, I love you, I think you're amazing, right? They've always got that disorder. They can't enjoy that compliment or that comment from a loved one. It's always about twisting it and having to the need to hurt the other person or affect them in some way negatively, right? Imagine that. You are a consistent slave to any time someone says anything nice. Oh, you look really nice, right? You have to give a backhanded compliment or be thinking, yeah, and you've no idea what I'm doing behind your back while you're thinking that about me. Fuck you. And they're smiling to your face and kissing you. They're the things they're getting off on because they know they're thinking shitty things and you've no idea. And then you're going to kiss them and hug them, right? And love them goodbye off on their way to work. And they know the whole time that they're fooling you and they're getting a rush out of that, right? That is sick. But that is how they live their lives from morning till night, constantly manipulating, twisting things that need to have somebody else feel pain, emotional pain. They're having to constantly be seeking fuel and attention. What kind of an argument can I trigger off here? What kind of drama can I trigger off here? Well, if I say that, I'm going to create a chain of drama. You know, like if the online YouTube personalities, narcissistic types, they're constantly consumed with this disorder, right? They don't see the rest of the world or the rest of life around them. They don't see anything ever outside of themselves. Like when people say, I wish there was a way to get revenge. The best revenge is leaving them, right? Because they will consistently play the same cycle until death, waking up every single day, every minute of every second of every day, right? They are a slave to this disorder, constantly having to think in calculating ways how they can figure out another way to get some more fuel. What can they do? What can they try? Who can they hurt? Who have they got on speed dial? Who have they not messaged for a while? Who can they go and hoover? I think it might be a good time to start making friends with him again or her again, right? Constantly slaves to that. They don't even enjoy going out for a nice meal and the things that are going on around you. When you go to the hairdressers or if you have a beauty treatment, say, right, and that enjoyment you get from having someone pamper you, right, a moment of luxury, right, in the hard bustle of life, they don't experience nothing, right? They don't experience sitting outside and the beauty of the world. Nothing, right? They don't notice or think anything outside themselves. They're consumed. That's their karma, right? That's the amazing thing, right? They do all they do to us, but they have to go away and live that same cycle. Love bombing a new target, right? Posting pictures about how happy they look, and you know that it's all an act, that they're incapable of loving that other person. They're incapable of having empathy. You cannot grow it. You cannot create it. You have it or you don't. A narcissist doesn't, right? They can't love people because they haven't got the ability. They haven't got they haven't got those certain components, mechanisms that work in the brain. We're happy lights up in our brain. It won't light up on their brain. It doesn't light up, right? They have pleasure. Pleasure and happy feel very similar, but they're not the same, right? Think about what pleasure feels like. It's fleeting, right? After you've made an amazing purchase, after sex, having a massage, chilling with your family. That pleasurable feeling you have chilling with your family. Think of the moments of feeling pleasure. It doesn't ever last though, right? It, dissipates, doesn't last. That feeling, if you think about pleasure, it doesn't last, right? But inner happiness, inner contentment, that's what we're left with inside, right? They don't have that. It's just darkness, dank. If they can't get supply, and they do go through moments of depression, but when they can't get supply, they're in the coldest, darkest place of the deepest depression you can even think about. They cannot cope in solitary. They cannot cope without supply. Any given situation, even if they're in hospital with the leg up in a sling, unable to move and get anywhere, right? Unable to even hold a phone, they would be figuring out a way to fuck with the nurses that are treating them in some way, right? Either purposely dropping something so that they have to bend down and pick it up, being awkward, right? Asking for things they don't need, pushing the limits, pushing the boundaries. It doesn't matter what situation a narcissistic type person is in. They are always about seeking some kind of reaction emotionally, even if it's kindness or positive attention. It doesn't matter what it is, negative or positive. They're constantly thinking about attaining more fuel. That's always the game. Even when they're fighting, it's to get the fuel, right? It's to get the fuel out of you, right? To get you to go to the darkest places, to get you to say the most cruelest things, because they get off on the power that they have to get you to feel that way, to say those things that you would never normally say, right? They enjoy it. That's the rush. You give them the rush by letting them do that to you, right? You let them, you know that they're a narcissistic type person, and they're trying to start a fight with you, or they're purposely saying obtuse things to get a reaction. You know they're a narcissist. Don't ever absorb what they're saying. Just do not pick it up. Refuse to even go over it in your mind and get emotionally attached to it and fire back a reaction. Do not, right? One of the best things that you can ever say to a narcissist after they've spewed a whole load of vitriol or said a whole load of lies about you, right? One of the best things you can ever say to a narcissist is, I accept your opinion and faulty perception of me. and leave. All right? I accept your opinion and faulty perception of me. Okay? And leave. That is the best thing you can say. They're arguing, you're giving them the fuel, right? You're giving them the fuel. They are living the shittiest, crappiest life ever. So when we're like feeling like, you know, we want to get some revenge in some way, we want to meddle with them, fuck with them in some way, all we're doing is behaving like they do, because that's what they do. They don't do anything independent of themselves. It's all because of someone else, right? They can't just behave and behave. It's all we don't need to do anything. We don't need to touch them in any way, right? Waking up, really think about it, right? What it must be like to wake up every morning and the same urgency you have to reach for a cigarette or your coffee, right? Or jumping in the shower first thing, that same urgency you have, they have fucking quadrupled that urgency to get some supply, to reach somebody, to have some kind of human contact. I don't think people really understand narcissism and how bad it is, right? Because if you understood how bad it is, you would see that there's never no need to mess with one, ever, right? Ever, right? And actually, if no one ever messed with them, that would be the best. That would be the best, because they would absolutely trip out and lose their minds. They cannot handle no human contact. You and I can go away and sit in an empty room for hours at a time, right? And just be chilled with our own company. I can live with just myself and not see another human being, right, for months at a time. I can live with myself. A narcissist can't do that. They can't even get through a day doing that. They can't do solitary, right? They would go out of their fucking minds. They would be in the worst, deepest, dark depression ever, because they can't function without some energy from another person. They constantly need the energy, right? So I'm going to wrap this up here. Karma for the narcissist, they live it every single day. And the best thing is, they don't know that. They don't know that, right? We do. We do. So consider that when you're trying to, or you're contemplating seeking some kind of revenge or vengeance. I promise you, right, the best revenge you can give a narcissist is to walk away and live and experience your life to the best of your ability. You want to get revenge on one of those creatures, right? You live the best life you possibly can for yourself, because that, seeing you doing that and knowing you can do that, and they can't do that, they can't function outside of this disorder, they'll never be able to have that, right? Showing them what they can't have ever, right? Ever. That's the best revenge you can give a narcissist. And no, they live karma every single day. And the best thing is, they don't even know that that's what they're doing. They're just living on a cycle. They go from person to person, like I was starting to say before, love bombing the person, photographs all over social media. It's all fake. It's all for effect. Within the next few weeks, that girl or that guy, that partner that they're now with after you, right? The cycle will start. The comments, the passive aggression, the putting them down, right? They're making digs. They're starting fights. They're giving the stonewalling and the silent treatment. They're starting to disappear, right? And then they probably start getting physical. The exact same cycle they lived with you will be the exact same cycle they live with them, all right? And at the same time when they were love bombing you and everything looked perfect to the outside world, right? That's all that is. It's just how it looks. It's how it's being presented to be, right? It's not real. So don't fall, because I see a lot of people in different comment sections, not mine, but saying things like, I've seen the ex-narcissist with a new partner and they look so happy. Do not fall for it. That's what you were like at the beginning. Shiny, happy and new, right? This beautiful person that's come into your life that's mirroring you, pretending to be like you. It was all fake. None of it was real. None of it's real with the new supply. They're living the karma. You get your revenge by living the best life you possibly can. All right. So take care. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Consider leaving a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Consider subscribing if you haven't. And until next time, love lots and bye for now.